And so, it's
What
kind of
was
like
the audit process like? I'm curious about that too. Like what does it take to get a smart contract audited, especially
so
like
there's
Maximus?
there's a bunch of firms that do audits, and it all just starts by you just sending them a message that either has like your code or has something that the scope of what you need. And so we didn't start talking to the auditors until the contract was complete. And so usually, like most of the these audit firms were fairly booked up for large projects. So it's very hard to get like an audit that's large in scope and scale. But since ours is just like it was like a single file. It had about 150 lines of like actual code. It used the default Open Zeppelin. It's called Open Zeppelin. It's like a library of pre-audited contracts that you can use as building blocks for your contract. So
Nice.
we didn't do anything out of the ordinary, and there wasn't any type of like integration with other markets or any type of like all this stuff that causes contracts to fail. Like there really wasn't anything. It was like clear cut, like minting and redemption, and then the staking actions. And so because our contract was so limited in scope, it really took about like 2 weeks to get the audit from start to finish. And so so we experienced like kind of a fast track that on that, and we got audited twice. I did one audit, had the responses, got the response, fixed that, and then with that contract that was then fixed, we took to a different firm and then did 2 audits. So almost like I wanted to like audit the audit in effect. And so so because there are 2 firms that I had chosen as ones that I researched a bunch of firms, saw which ones I there were some that were booked that I didn't even couldn't even gotten anything for months. But there's some others that had a lot of experience, and some of their past work I saw was somewhat related. And so those 2 firms are the ones that I chose. It was called Solidity Finance, and then it's called like InterFi Network. So those are the 2 audit firms, and then they all I did is I just sent them the GitHub link that had the contract, and then they run it through these various tests, and then they do like kind of like code review, and then they tell you what's wrong with it and what you need to fix, and like they rank them as based on how critical the fix is. And none of the things they flagged were like critical things. They were kind of optional to fix. Mainly they were to save gas for the user. So we fixed everything that the auditors told us to fix, and then it was go time from there.